The scheme of my presentation is divided in three parts: participation with the government of Valencia, participation with political parties, and then problem solutions I have noticed and I have underlined, and then conclusions. Just a few questions to the floor to make the debate after. So, this was the previous situation 1 year ago after arriving to government. The autonomous government was born a year ago, as I have said, with the determination of the implementation of binomial transparency and participation as a transversal axis for public policy making. The new organizational structure includes the Regional Ministry of Transparency, Social Responsibility, Participation and Cooperation, with a specific general direction of transparency and participation. Participation has not been developed in the Statute of Autonomy. It's like the constitution for our region. During much time, the region of Valencia has not had an important development in matter of participation. Unfortunately, even in some cases, it has been used as a political instrument, the establishment of clientele networks and the lack of support to the social movements and organizations seen as political enemies. The law of 2015, of 2 April, of the Generalitat Valenciana, in its Title 5, makes reference to the citizens' participation in general terms, but does not define the lines of action and the basic parameters to activate this participation. The will of the new team is working through the legislature in a new law on participation that is going on now. However, as the law has to suit with the reality of the region of Valencia and have to give response to the needs that the woven associative requires, we need to create the Council of Citizens Participation through the approval of this future regulation on participation. Instead, the Code of Good Governance, adopted in May 2016, offers a clear answer to what the citizens was demanding over the last years: honesty and transparency. During many years, the region of Valencia has been the main center of political corruption. Lack of transparency in the daily management of the public affairs was our brand. If you are now reading newspapers, international newspapers, there are 2 or 3 trials that are ongoing due to this corruption, to this political corruption. The protocol of participation during the legislative procedure has been established. It's very easy to do, and in accordance with this state law, this regional law, and the autonomous law of transparency, has started up the procedure to promote citizen participation in the development of policies, laws, plans, procedures, and other planning instruments. This also implies the adoption of principles of participation in all the regional administration. This is a very different point that we have before and that we have now. Before, people and citizens in the region of Valencia and in many municipalities had not the opportunity to participate even in the budgetary process, in nothing. Things were done by the government without any participation from citizens, and that is very serious. And now, for 1 year, since 1 year ago, these are changing, the things are changing, but in a very slow way, because we were not habituated to participate in my region and in Spain. This is the web of transparency of my government, of my region, and here you can see all the areas of the government: presidency, social welfare, economic area, or culture, education, agriculture, and then in each area you can click, and then you can see all the projects of law or projects of regulations that you can participate and you can present your amendments. Another thing that has changed a lot is the transparency web. here you can find, in a very easy manner to find it, to look for, everything regarding the managerial, the government people, the government members, sorry. Here we have the vice president, and there you can find her CV, her salary, her declaration of goods, and also her titles and academic titles. This could seem obvious in another member state, but it was not in the region of Valencia, and it was not in Spain. There was a serious lack of transparency, mostly regarding the salaries and the education of the members of the government. Transparency is not just publishing the data, but to do it in an easy manner in order to facilitate the access to citizens. This, I repeat again, this is the first time in 30 years of democracy that we can access to this data, the first time. I think it's a very interesting point. And then, in the other side, take it to the second part of my intervention, this is participation with political parties. As it is known, Spain is going through a period in the political level that could be defined as historic. Little political parties have increased their presence, and progressive parties have reached the government of many regions and municipalities. The last regional election that took place in May 2015 had brought a government formed by two parties. I'm talking about my region. Another one is just supporting the government, but it does not belong to it. One of these parties was a very little one in sense of economical capacity. The campaign, both regional and local, was developed mostly through social networks. The electoral platform was elaborated through citizenship participation from members of the political party, but also from supporters. And the typical events, like big meetings, were reduced. So the electoral cost has also been reduced. This responded to a social claim regarding a major participation in the public affairs, and also to the need of closing the gap between politicians and citizens. Regarding not political participation, but political participation of citizens in the public affairs, this is an example from the mayor of Valencia, that today is here, in Brussels. They have opened two ways of participating. One of them to the budget of the local budget, to build this budget and to decide in what the municipality has to spend the money. Sorry, and then other one that it's very, very interesting is participation in the design of some parts of the city. This, I say it again, is the first time that we have the opportunity to do. Well, and what are the main problems regarding participation? In my opinion, in Spain, and almost in the region of Valencia, lack of tradition and education regarding participation. We are not habituated, we are not educated to participate. As a consequence, citizens bring their ideas or projects or claim through warm channels. With this, I mean that people are more habituated to participate through social networks than through official BAs or ways. And we are forgetting that we have official ways, but maybe they are not so easy for the people who want to participate. With the birth of social networks like Facebook or Twitter, citizens use these tools to participate or to try to interact with governments. But there is a problem. We are forgetting, as I have said, the official channels for claiming against the management of their cities, and many times using these social networks, they take advantage of an anonymous profile. That's its problem. And in this moment, the claim is transformed in insults or maybe in threats. We have many examples in the region of Valencia, my government, and in other municipalities that perverts the very aim of participation, the very sense of democracy. In addition, Spain is not a country where participation in public life is a habit. Indeed, people do not use to participate even if they have to present a claim before an administration, for many reasons, two main reasons. They do not think they are going to obtain a solution, or also they think no one is going to answer. That has been the tradition over 20 years. We have also to put the focus, and before someone was talking about the digital generation, but I want to bring here to the floor the digital divide. There is a lot of people, elder people, that are using social networks that want to participate, that are not able to participate, and also that a lot of people, and not older people, but adult people and young people that don't have the possibility to access to pay internet or to have a computer. This is a digital divide, and this is something we have to fit if we want participation to be realistic. And then solutions, for me, in my opinion, in the opinion of my government, education. Participation is a fundamental right. Maybe we have forget it. It's a fundamental right. And if we are not aware about our rights, our fundamental rights, we cannot protect them, and we cannot guarantee them. Education about rights is neat. Education about how to participate according to the democratic principle, and commitment of governments, that's essential. So, conclusions, some ideas to the debate. Participation and transparency must be a cross-topic for policymakers. We cannot and we must not forget who is in the other side, citizens. Participation is a fundamental right, and social networks are a basic tool, but always under the democratic principles. Thank you very much.